Okay, unconditional positive regard is one of Carl Rogers' core condition counselling. Other ways to talk about this, or other ways this is often referred to, would be acceptance, non-possessive warmth, respect, prizing, affirming, and non-judgment. There's a wonderful quote from Carl Rogers that very much sums up all of person-centered counselling, but especially unconditional positive regard. People are just as wonderful as sunsets if you let them be. When I look at a sunset, I don't find myself saying, soften the orange bit on the right-hand corner. I don't try to control the sunset. I watch with awe as it unfolds. From the counsellor's perspective, unconditional positive regard means believing that everyone has their own reasons for everything they do. Internalizing that. Coming from a place of judgment will cause the counsellor to make assumptions, and so would interfere with the counsellor's ability to really listen to her client. It's quite important not to judge. Again, this really interlinks with empathy and also with congruence, that if you bring your own stuff to the table, your own issues, whether they're judgments that you've gotten from society, which is incongruence, or whether it's pain from your own past that you assume this person will share, which is false empathy, whatever it is, those things are going to interfere with your unconditional positive regard. The counsellor must be aware of her own values in order to notice when they conflict with the client's and interfere with her capacity for unconditional positive regard. This requires personal development and personal counselling. And Carl Rogers, of course, as always, puts it best. He says, "The degree to which I can create relationships which facilitate the growth of others as separate persons is a measure of the growth I have achieved in myself." I think there's another quote, I think it's from Carl Rogers, where he says, "I can only take the client as far as I have gone myself." For the client, unconditional regard means, it's very important, it means that they know that no matter who they are or what they feel or think, they will be accepted by the counsellor, so they can feel free to be themselves. According to David Mearnes and Brian Thorne, unconditional positive regard directly sabotages conditions of worth. If you want me to do another video on conditions of worth, you can give a thumbs up, because that's good. It is a good thing to receive thumbs up on YouTube. It is the currency of YouTube. It is the value. It is the condition of worth, in fact. Unconditional positive regard creates environment for exploration and change. The counsellor's office is a safe place for the client because they know they will not be judged. Without fear of judgment, they can explore themselves and their feelings. They can try out different things. They can try on different personas and see who they really are. They can express things they've never said to anybody and know it will be okay. This professional friendship allows the client to explore the nature of their interpersonal relationships outside of the counsellor's office. So they can see, what happens if I'm honest with my counsellor? What would happen if I did this outside of this room? What happens if I get angry with my counsellor? Would the world end if I did this outside of this room? Is anger always going to be confused with aggression? Things like that. You can try it out in a safe space with another person there to support you. Not help you, but support you. And then the last word on unconditional positive regard. Again, just like the other two core conditions, it's not enough to feel it. It must be communicated through warmth. This could be body language or words. And I actually have a list here among my papers. This comes from the David Mearnes and Brian Thorne book. Person-Centered Counselling in Action, it's called. Ways of communicating unconditional positive regard. Going to the door to greet the client. So even little things like that are so important. Shaking their hands, another small thing. Using their first name, smiling, using a warm tone of voice, holding eye contact, genuinely laughing when the client tells a funny story, agreeing to extend the session where that's possible and appropriate. Be careful, I've put an exclamation marks there. Because boundaries. Using words to show warmth, showing genuine interest in the client, physically moving towards them, touching their arm, touching their shoulder, holding hands and hugging. And of course, the one place you can be guaranteed you will get unconditional positive regard outside of a counsellor's office, and for just a small price each month, is if you get a dog. Or many other pets as well are capable of providing this. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out the other videos in the links and have an unconditionally wonderful day.